Yeah. Well, hi, May. You're a dumb bitch. It's episode 21. We've got Holden. All right. Most of you don't recognize him, but some of you are old enough to know the before times, the before WoW times, the Xbox times. All right. And yet you just said since the last time I saw you, which was so fucking long ago. Now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Like, I was literally thinking about it today. Like, I was sitting down, put my socks on, and I was like, oh yeah, like, last time I saw him, I was like, oh, it was before me and Jocelyn broke up. And I was like, well, how long, like, when did me and Jocelyn break up? I was like, yeah, probably like, maybe a year ago. And then I'm like, thinking about it, I'm like, no, like 3.5, 4 years ago. Holy shit. Yeah.
No, my son is 6 now.
Yeah, and
maybe 1.
Maybe he was. You still carried him in like the little fucking thing you carry babies in. Yeah. So he was.
He probably wasn't even 1 yet.
Yeah, he was ridiculously. Yeah, that it's been so fucking long. I have such fond memories of that trip, and like, I spent like a ridiculous amount of time at your house, like 2 weeks or something, 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And you were a hermit.
Oh yeah.
You were in the guest room.
And
you get up at like 4 or 5 o'clock.
It was so much fun. I had so much fun in your house. You had the nicest cat. I'm not a cat person, but that cat was like the best cat. No.
She lived to 20 years old. She just passed away like 2 months ago.
Well, I'm glad she lived a long life. She's a fucking sick cat. Love that cat. Yeah. There's so much distinct stuff from her about your house. Like your wife is like one of the nicest people I've ever met. She's just super sweet, you know. 10 out of 10 wife. I like have like a distinct memory of your car. Like anytime I see Jaguars now, I just immediately like, haha.
Oh, I still had the Jaguar at the time.
Yeah.
I loved that car. That's still my favorite car I've ever had.
Yeah.
I've gone through a couple since then.
Yeah, you took me to a hockey game. I remember that too.
Yeah, we live in a different house now, but we're just across the highway. Remember, our neighborhood was like right off the highway.
Yep.
We're just on the opposite side of the highway now in a newer neighborhood.
Yeah, I can like distinctly recall so much of it. I have like just such vivid memories of like walking at like 2 in the morning around your fucking neighborhood and just finding frogs and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still kind of country. And we basically like gave you my wife's car for the time you were there.
Yeah.
So you had transportation and
unbelievable hospitality. Like
you'd order Domino's every night.
Yes. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
It was, dude. I was young, and it was like one of my first like major like visiting just like tons of people, because like I think it was like it ended up being like a 2 or 3 month trip where I just bounced around
you did
between.
a big tour.
Yeah. It was great. It was, Texas is specifically your house was probably my favorite part, and then D Pissel in Virginia, another great part, another amazing part. Pablo and Serrano's houses were very funny. Like
they're interesting.
It was so.
What do you mean by an interesting house?
So Serrano.
Well, yeah, go ahead.
He owned a very large house at the time, like think of like the size of my parents' house, but slightly larger.
Yeah. Okay.
And he was making like he was a manager at an arcade that I don't think was. I have no idea how the fuck he afforded it. It made no sense to me. And
you get all the corners from all the games. And
there you go.
The bank.
And
his wife is like clerical, like administrative type job at a like physical rehab place.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're pulling that house either.
Oh, they still have it?
I don't know.
Okay, because I remember they had talked about wanting to move for the longest time and like downsize, because it was like, why the fuck do we need the house this big? We don't like half their rooms were empty or like just completely like filled to the brim full of like just random shit.
Yeah.
They had a bunch of kids, right? Like 3 or 4 kids.
When I was there, I believe they had 2, maybe 3. They probably have more. It's been fucking forever, so
yeah.
I haven't talked to them in like, fucking since I left there, basically. Yeah, Serrano still has a few of my board games. R.I.P. Never got those back. But I still talk to like Dean and Neps. Like Neps especially I still talk to all the time. But Dean I talk to every once in a while. He hits me up and he tells me like the horrible things that are happening in his life. He goes through peaks and valleys.
Oh no. I think it was Neps that you were mainly gaming with every night at my house. If I remember right.
Probably. Neps and I were like inseparable for like 6 or 7 years. And then I started playing WoW, and it's like I talk to him maybe like, well, I message him like roughly every day, but like actually talking on Discord like very rarely because we just don't play the same games anymore. But yeah. Neps is fantastic, silly little guy. I've been to his house several times because we used to go to like conventions together and shit.
But Pablo's place was interesting. He's not there anymore, but he lived like in a mother-in-law suite with his in-laws owned the house, right?
Yeah, dude. The house design was so fucking weird. It was a square. It was a fucking square. Now, it was a square with a hollowed center with like a garden area. It was so weird. Like imagine,
perfect.
Like it didn't make sense to me. It was nice. It was super nice. I think I stayed at his house twice because I think I went to Texas twice, if I remember correctly.
I don't remember a second time.
So in my head, because one time I took my friend Anthony with me, but then Anthony didn't come with me to your house. So I'm wondering if he only came for a little bit.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay. But yeah.
Yeah, he left before you came up to my place.
Yeah, and Pablo's house was very funny too because his like bathroom just didn't work. So it was like, okay, like we're gonna have like 3 people staying over. Make sure you shower really fast because it leaks and there will just be a giant puddle of water. And it was so fucking funny and also so bad.
Yeah, I remember you being very grateful to make it to my house.
Yes.
Complaining about the bathroom.
Yeah.
And just how like messy their place was, like very disorganized.
Yes.
Yeah.
They walking into
leaving insulation out too? Like are they?
No, but they were leaving like if they were so sort of like in The Sims when you're done with an object, your sim will just drop it on the floor sometimes. That's sort of like how both of their houses operated, where it's like, well, I'm done with this object, drop, continue moving, and it was just like there's just clutter everywhere.
Just the way that house was laid out, like you said, it was a weird layout.
Yeah.
Because I know since then they moved to an apartment by themselves. And I think they have a house now, if I remember.
I don't know about they have a house, given the fact that they're getting divorced, but...
Oh!
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Honestly, I thought you knew that.
No!
Yeah. I only knew that because Dean told me like maybe 2 or 3 months ago. But yeah, apparently they're getting a divorce, which makes a lot of sense because his wife has been incredibly active on Instagram recently. Just always hanging out with the child.
I see her on Facebook a lot, and it's just a ton of selfies, like every other day.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
That's kind of a bummer, but interesting.
I think D Pizzle also got a divorce. He freed himself.
That I am not surprised about. I was going to ask you. You mentioned that you went and stayed at his house, and I was wondering how much drama you saw while you were there.
That woman is a fucking demon, okay?
You were totally just dumping dirt on all of our
it was so great.
Online gaming friends.
It was great. It was outstanding. Yeah. So D Pizzle's also Mormon for everyone out there that didn't know this. And so me and him like had a ton of stuff to relate to. And I just stayed in his house for a while. Super nice guy. Loved his house. His wife, literal demon. I'm so glad he has left her because he is the most polite Mormon person ever. Doesn't swear.
So sweet.
Just so nice.
Usually we'd be playing like Battlefield 3 and all of a sudden you hear her voice in the background.
Yeah.
And he'd like start to yell at her and then mute his microphone.
Yeah. The entire time I was there, like every 5 minutes, she would find a new reason to scream at him. And I felt so bad because he's so nice. He drove me around and took me to all kinds of nice places to eat.
Oh man,
super fucking nice guy. So hopefully, he finds a nice new lady or just escapes the evil demon. But yeah, I remember I remember walking into their house, and like D Pistol has like a relatively nice job if I remember correctly. He's something to do in finance. Is my recollection. I could be wrong.
Yeah, he's an accountant.
Yeah. And I walk into their house, and there's just like clothes racks in one of their rooms full of Lululemon gear, and I'm like, uh-oh, your wife has gotten into multi-level marketing, and this isn't good.
Oh no.
Yeah, but I need to catch up with him because I loved his house. His family was very nice. It's just super nice guy.
He had like a couple boys, right? Like 1 or 2 boys.
I need to remember. So I think so I know he has a son Emmett, and then he had like biological son and biological daughter, and I think he had at least one adopted daughter and maybe another adopted son.
Okay.
Because
very Mormon.
Yeah.
Very Mormon.
But I didn't see him very often. I literally slept on like a military cot the entire time I was at his house. He had a spare room, but for whatever reason, I was just like young and I could sleep anywhere. So I was like, no, I'm gonna sleep in the room with the Xbox. And
just like you did at my place.
Yeah, dude, I remember your place was bad though, because this game came to the Xbox store called Slime Rancher.
Oh god, it was such a stupid game, and you guys would play it for hours.
So dumb. I literally cranked out like 72 hours in like a fucking 4-day window, and I remember just being like, I haven't beaten the game yet, but I'm like, no, I have to stop. I can't play this. Like it's too addicting. I will literally just only play this. Your wife also got me into that Pandemic game. Fantastic board game.
Yeah. Mentioned board games earlier, so you lost a couple at Serrano's, but I seem to remember you bought it while you were here. When you got home, you bought it right away.
So
when you got home,
if I'm remembering correctly, here's the order of events. I think I started out by going to Nep's and going to his house and going to Gen Con with him. I bought a fuck ton of board games, stuffed them in my suitcase, and then I bought more useless shit while I was in Texas, and I had to cut some weight somewhere to like get things on the plane. I was like, oh, I'll just like leave these here. I'll come back next year, pick them up. And then I just obliterated my relationship with Pablo and Serrano. Just nuked it from orbit. Oh, good times.
That was so stupid.
Yeah, it was awesome. I would do it again. It was so funny.
Now, what did you do?
So
yeah. You need to include Jit somewhere. It's just you and me reminiscing about.
Yeah,
so I need to know how you obliterated these, just so I know when it happens.
It's not Pig's fault at all.
No, it is.
Well, okay. To clarify, it sort of is in that, like, granted I was a young man, and like when you throw the beautiful young lady in front of me, I'm gonna chase her. But like grown up adult me now would know better than to fuck with those pieces. But basically, what happened was I had formed like a group chat on Facebook for all of us to play Xbox games together because like Discord didn't exist. So, you fucking Facebook Messenger is how everyone fucking communicates back in the day. That it was like that or Skype. And
I was hardcore on the Skype.
I ended up like, for whatever reason, I like sort of stopped talking to the group for like 6 or 7 months. I think I just got busy with high school shit. And I like come back one day and like I'm like, hey guys, what's up? And like 5 minutes later they added a girl to the chat. It's fucking Jocelyn's in the chat. I'm like, oh, interesting. I click on her profile, and I'm like, this woman is 16 years old, and I immediately fucking remove her from the group chat. And I'm like, no, you guys are grown ass men, okay? You are all like, so was that Holden?
No, I said right.
Yeah.
Like it was very uncomfortable.
Yeah, and it's like you guys are all like, I remember their ages. In my head, the youngest one was 22. And so it's like 22 to like, 29-year-old man being like, yeah, let's play Xbox with a 16-year-old girl. There's no way this will end badly. And I fucking remember like writing a manifesto. I'm like, guys, this is a fucking terrible idea, okay? Because, like, this is a 16-year-old girl, it's already weird. 2, there's no shot you guys are gonna, like, not try and bang this underage girl. 3, she's probably only gonna fuck one of us, okay? And, like, the other ones are gonna hate the person that she chooses to fuck. This is a terrible idea. And then I got outvoted. They're like, shut the fuck up, Pig. You're an idiot. You're a dumb bitch. Okay, there's no way that this goes badly. So they fucking invite her in the group chat. And, like, I sort of, like, skedaddle for a bit. I come back, like, 6 months later, like, roughly on the launch of Overwatch. And everyone's, like, everyone's all friends. We're all playing together. And I join the chat. And I start talking to Jocelyn a little bit. Nothing weird happens. Fast forward like a year later, and then like we start talking a little more, and then just randomly out of the blue, she's like, "I'm gonna go to California. Can I come to your house?" And this is where grown adult me would have said, "No, no, 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 not to, no, no, no. I know how this ends." But young 18-year-old me was like, "17-year-old girl wants to fly to my house." Okay. So I flew her down, or she flew herself down. I didn't pay for shit.
Didn't she stop somewhere
in Chicago?
else?
Yes, and she met Dustin and Poet.
Dustin was the one that was like head over heels for her.
Poet was actually, and Dustin both.
No,
I
that's
think.
right. Poet, yeah.
Poet was crazy for her. And at the time, Poet and I were really good friends, and I was like, I don't want to fucking bang this chick, but then I'm an 18-year-old kid, so I'm a bad person.
That just evaporates.
Well, no, hear me out. She flies down. We don't fuck at all. She's there for 4 days. I take her to all kinds of places. Nothing happens. I don't make any moves. I'm a good Christian soldier, okay? I fucking drop her off at the airport, okay? And I'm like, bye-bye. And I just message her. I'm like, look, man, you can never come back to California and like one-on-one with me again, because I'm gonna fuck you if that happens. And it's like not bad. We can't have it happen. And immediately she like sends me a screenshot. She's like, all right, just bought another plane ticket. I'm coming back in 6 months. And I'm like, fuck.
I didn't realize it happened like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
I really made some suboptimal moves. So I think
she went to and saw Poet first.
Yes.
And was like he was totally like
antisocial,
totally awkward.
Yeah.
And just could not seal the deal with her.
Yeah.
And so he gets mad at you.
Yeah.
He owned her. Like that was the thing that was so gross to me about it. Was he's getting mad at you, but she didn't want him. It was very clear.
So, Jit, off podcast, I will tell you an exact 1-to-1 analogy of what this relationship was like. But I think you already know. But
that's an idea.
Yeah. But yeah, so Jocelyn was like completely whatever towards him, and he was like head over heels, but like, you know, for whatever reason, this 25-year-old man couldn't riz this 17-year-old. And you know, like they met up. Like she liked Dustin and her had a great time. They all like hung out together. She's like, oh, Dustin's great. You know, Poe was like super awkward, uncomfortable around me. It's like, damn, bro, imagine fumbling the bag like that. So she comes down, meets me. We don't fuck. Nothing happens. I send her home. And then later she's like, well, I'm going to fly down. You're going to fuck me. And I was like, well, I guess that's the way she goes. And
if you say so, if you're so insistent.
So I think here's the reason Poet fucking hates me, is my understanding, is like, he asks me, he's like, did you do anything with Jocelyn? Which I said no, because I didn't fuck her. Nothing happened. And then like fucking 3 or 4 days later, Jocelyn's like, I'm flying down and you're going to fucking turn me out. And I'm like, uh-oh. And then fucking Poet hears this. Everyone else hears this. And everyone but like Dean and Hip Hop and D Pizzle and Neps, like I guess just Poet, Dustin, Pablo and Serrano got like super fucking mad at me for like
totally turned on you, not
shooting her in the head immediately. And it's like I listen, I understand why they were upset. You know, I came in and I stole the prize. You know, they had spent so long farming all this rep and trying to get her to like them, and then I showed up and it just went nuclear.
understand that, but I don't agree with it.
Yeah, no,
yeah.
Obviously, in my world, like
weird to think like only Poet could have her, and if he couldn't have her, then no one was allowed to. It just seems very gross.
Yeah, like
super on par with
describe it.
Everyone else, like how they'd understand the situation.
What do you mean?
Right?
Like, no. Most of them were like, "How dare!" Like, no, it's Poet's girl or no one's girl.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. Like, I feel like that's so much more of the average take.
Oh, I disagree. For me, at least, in my world, like if I try and like pursue a girl and things just don't work out, okay, like sure, Timmy, go fuck him. Like, that's all you.
For you, but like I'm talking the average person outside of these 3 people who are sitting here. From everyone I've ever met and talked to in all my friends groups, that's how it's been.
That's so crazy to me.
You didn't get Kayla? Well, it's goodbye, Kayla. Well, none of us will ever speak to her because no one has the emotional maturity when they're 18 to handle that.
I did as a fucking young lad. I remember in high school, like one of my best friends, Edwin. Like I went after 2 girls, took massive L's, and he fucked both of them, and I never got mad. I was like, yeah, no, I fucking fumbled the bag. Like, what am I supposed to tell you? You can just never have sex with a girl that I've looked at before? Like, that's absurd.
That is an absurd take.
But yeah, my that old friend group did not take kindly to me approaching Jocelyn and accidentally scoring that. Funnily enough, she still lives at my parents' house.
I was just thinking about that. I was going to ask you where she ended up.
Yeah, so Jocelyn and I are on good terms now, but when we broke up, let me tell you, I don't hold it against her because she was like, you know, a 17-year-old girl that got like whisked off her feet by me and like moved into like a really big ass fucking house, and then one day I'm just like, no, I don't want to date anymore, and she did not take that well. She screamed at me a lot, and I like just was like, okay, yeah, okay, like you've got like 5 more minutes of yelling and I got some shit to do. I remember that so vividly, just like because it was like right as WoW started, so there'd be times where I'd be raiding and I'd like had to make a call out and she's just screaming at me in the background, and I'm like, okay guys, it's gonna be a taunt swap, and she's just fucking going in on me. And I never got mad at her. Like I completely understood the like teenage rage that she was feeling, because I was like her first real boyfriend, and the way that I broke up with her was the way that like 20-year-olds break up, which is you say like, nah, it's not working out, man, I'm kind of bored, see ya. And that's not how you break up with teenagers. Granted, she was like 19 when we broke up, but like she was just not ready for that, and she handled it so poorly.
So you guys did date for a while.
Oh yeah, like 2 years, I think.
Yeah, at that age, 2 years is like pretty serious.
Very significant amount of time.
Yeah, no, I mean, and she was great. She was a super nice lady. But just wasn't for me at the end. And I think she still interacts with like some of the group chat, as far as I know.
I don't know. I haven't been in that Facebook chat in years.
But I have not super talked to her very recently. Because yeah, there was like a solid 6-month period where she lived down the hall from me, and every time she saw me, she'd fucking want to kill me.
Wow. But you guys are back on good.
Oh yeah, like I think she and I could like, we text every once in a while, usually about the dog that she and I used to like raise together.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have no hard feelings. I don't think she has any hard feelings. We've had like tons of normal conversations. Like I come down back to California for my birthday, and I invite like all my like raid friends, and we have like, you know, like 30 people all come down like an Airbnb we rent out. And during that time, she was normal. She didn't threaten to kill me. You know, it was pretty good. But I remember one night I fucking woke up in the middle of the night because we weren't sleeping in the same room at this point because, you know, we'd broken up. And like all my monitors are on, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I like go to reach for my phone. I'm like, where the fuck is my phone? And I see she has 2 phones in her hand, and she's just going through all my Discord DMs trying to see if I'm talking to other girls yet. It's just like, what the fuck, man?
Wow.
And like at the time, my reaction is, oh, you're fucking insane. You know, fucking 3 years removed. I'm like, no, you were a very young girl whose world was crumbling and you just didn't know how to fucking handle it.
Yeah.
But also, I thought you were insane at that moment.
Yeah, I don't blame you, but it sounds like she was just very immature.
Yeah, I mean, she's definitely grown up a fucking lot.
Yeah, also from like 19 to now.
Yeah, again, super nice. Like, I have like no ill will towards her. But like our actual breakup is unbelievably fucking hilarious. The events of it are just so funny. Like so I ended up like talking to another girl who ended up being 1,000 times more insane. Shout out to Runa. And so Jocelyn.
You have a type.
Yes, I do have a type, and it's just self-destructive individuals. So yeah,
I can't wait for the next one.
Oh, it's gonna be great. So Runa, we'll say she was less endowed in the chest area than she had wished to be, and it sort of affected her psyche at times. And Jocelyn's got giant titties, and this did not sit well with Runa. And so one day, Jocelyn wrote the most scathing personal letter, handwritten note, being like, Runa, you've got small tits and you're a fucking loser. Like, I hate you. I was just like, what the fuck is happening?
Wow.
It was
unhinged.
It was amazing. There's so much early like WoW drama that Jocelyn personally saw to happening that like shaped our current guild. Like oh my gosh, she used to, so this girl Runa, Jocelyn messages her one day like pretending to be dumb as fuck, but like, oh, are you the guild man? Oh, I'm just basically just trying to talk to this girl and like snoop while pretending to be like, oh, I'm lost. You know where the library is? And Runa has BPD and is fucking bonkers sometimes, so she doesn't play any fucking games. And she sent the most scathing fucking messages back, and I was just being like, why are you guys fighting? What is happening? Like, oh. It was, and then I fucking flew Runa down to my house while Jocelyn still lived there.
Oh no.
I'm an idiot. I was so dumb.
Top tier idea right there.
Content wise, if I had been like streaming at that time, best content in the world. It'd have been amazing. They were like, it was like having two feral cats. Just like they were ready to fight at any given moment. It was amazing. I remember like one time Runa and I like we're gonna go out to go eat. And we walked out of our room, and Jocelyn had just walked out of her room, and like they both, like Runa and Jocelyn both just froze and just stared at each other. And I felt like it was like there were two feral cats who were getting ready to fucking fight. And I was like, please, let's go. I don't need this right now. That was. I do not regret any of those decisions because looking back, they're so fucking funny to think back on. At the time, unbelievably stressful. Just pure panic in my young bones. But now, as a 25-year-old man, I'm like, this is funny. This is
a little excitement to your life.
Yeah, this is a good bit. I like this. But yeah, I've learned a lot. Like, especially from my brother when he brings women over who are like screaming at him and like putting holes in the wall with their hands. It's like, oh, don't bring them to where you live. That's a bad idea.
So it's genuine.
Yeah. I remember one night just hearing this woman screaming as my brother was like kicking her out of the house. Like, I'm going to go get my gun. I'm going to come back and I'm going to fucking kill you. I remember being like, I live here. Like, what if I don't like that at all. So I didn't sleep that night. I was just like sitting around with a handgun, just waiting for the fucking bullets to fly. She never came back, but it was very fascinating to watch this woman like scream like, I'm going to go back to my house, retrieve my firearm, return to this domicile, and shoot you in the chest. I mean, like, Cody, that's not good. Like, she knows where we live. Yeah, women are fun sometimes. Especially when you don't have to deal with the negative repercussions.
Yeah. Pick one and, like, that's it for the next 10 years.
Yeah, you definitely, you're playing the game properly. You know?
I think you lost the instruction booklet somewhere.
Yeah. A consistent, steady relationship, significantly more rewarding than women who put holes in your wall and scream at your dog. But, you know, you can't win them all. So you gotta pick and choose your battles, shit, you know?
So far, I haven't won a single one, it seems. But,
yeah, well, that's fair. I mean, I won the dog battle. I had my dog, so that counts. You know.
No, you kept the dog from Jocelyn?
Well, I kept the dog from its original owner as well. My brother had a girl that he had moved into our house for like 2 years, and she brought this dog with her. And she did not treat little Posey very well. So within 5 minutes of moving into our house, her dog was like, I'm abandoning you, and I'm picking a new owner. And it's the guy with the beard who pets me. And so I've just had the dog ever since. Like, she moved out, and then one day she like came back after she'd moved out for like 6 months. She came back in the middle of the night because she still knew the code to our house, like our doors, and she fucking took the dog in the middle of the night. And so I was like, well, I guess my dog's gone forever. That's fucking lame. Didn't get to say bye to my dog. But technically, you know, it was her dog. She's the one who fucking like originally owned it. They're like slaves, you know. She's got the writ of sale.
Yeah, she's got the pink slip for it.
Yeah. And then fast forward to moving up to Minnesota, you know, don't have my dog, you know, fucking just really sad. She randomly reconnects with my brother and it's like, I bought a new dog. I hate this old dog. Here you go. And just like throws my dog back to my brother in Minnesota. My dog walks in and sees me and it's just like, what the fuck? Like, this is awesome. And now she's like even more like needy of me because she got kidnapped in the middle of the night and returned. Yeah. The odds of my brother reconnecting with that woman long enough for her to be like, take this stupid dog, because she just happened to be in the fucking area too, like just driving through with the dog, like completely random, not planned, and suddenly I have a dog again. And it's like, oh shit, we take those W's.
You said you're the guy with the beard,
yes.
But you also said in the last episode that you do not have your beard anymore.
Yes, this will be the last week that I have a beard that's like this full at least, because I start on the 24th. So
what is it? I didn't hear what this new job is.
Unbelievably boring shit. Literally, it is just a desk operations specialist at the like local hospital. Yeah, basically. I'm the guy that's like, what's your name? Oh, have you like you have a Mayo Clinic account? Okay, here we got, use your room. Good luck. That's it. But it pays like $21.50, so I was like, sold. So I jumped onto it immediately.
And it's like 8 hours a day.
I don't know. They haven't. So the way it works is, on the 24th I start my training, and then the training is a 3-week period, and then you basically become like a free agent to all the like sectors of the hospital, because I live right by the Mayo Clinic, which is like a massive hospital that employs like 20,000 people. So I basically get to pick and choose like where I want to work. So it's anywhere from like, you know, 20 to 40 hours a week, just depending on what department I pick and when.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's neat. Like, they all seem nice. The only thing that's like holding me up right now on employment is I'm waiting on my fucking driver's license to get mailed to my old house to get mailed to me.
Oh yeah.
The whole process is so fucking annoying. And then I need to get my immunization records. And then after that, you know,
they want you up to date on your
no, you don't believe in that.
Yeah, well, now I need to Google how to get immunization records. It was like step one as soon as this podcast ends, because like they called me like 20 minutes before we started recording, and we're like, hey, we sent you 3 emails of forms to fill out. You filled out 2 of them. And I was like, fuck, I missed one. And then I opened that one and I was like, oh, you need to have your immunization records attached. It's like, I don't fucking know where to get those. So
wherever you got your shots, I guess.
Yeah, which is probably in California.
Like your health website and download the little yellow book.
I probably have one, and I bet I could find it. Because I know that I had an app at one point that I used. No fucking idea what it was called or where it is anymore, but
yeah, I'm pretty sure up here you just like go onto your government website and then hit download yellow book.
Well, you see, in based America, we've got like 0 government entities that are in control of each hospital. So it's like you get an app per fucking hospital. All right.
Yeah, I would never be able to keep track of that just based on like in grade school I got them like at my school. Like, who would I contact in America? Like, oh yeah, hello grade school. Do you remember who gave me my shot?
Yeah, dude, my school. I am like the victim of all fucking clerical errors that could ever exist. The fucking social security number that is attached to like my schooling is not my social security number. It's a random person's social security number. It's not mine. They just fucked it up and like kept it that way forever. And so it was like when I was applying to colleges and like doing taxes, like they'll ask for certain records. And I'm like, well, these don't match. It's like, well, because the fucking school is dumb. And then you have to go talk to the fucking school, be like, why the fuck do you have a random ass person's fucking social security number that isn't mine? Like, I have my card in my hand. I'm looking at my shit. Yours is wrong. Fix it. And they're just like, oh, we're not certain. So I'm 100% positive that you fucked this shit up.
Wow.
Yeah. I have just been plagued with. It also sucks because a lot of times, like now it's not as bad because everything's digital, but on fucking hand, like written shit, there are very few names that are like after Whitehead on the alphabetical list. And there have been many times where there are 5 pieces of paper stapled together and my name is at the top of the 5th page and they flip it over like, oh, this is an empty page, rip up, throw in the garbage. And it's like, well, no, my name was on that. Okay. And, you know, you just get fucked by, like, some dummy being like, oh, I didn't see it. Sorry, I didn't give you any credit for the 18 college courses you took. That's my bad. Sorry about that one. But if you pay $18, we can get your official transcript, you know, and we can resolve this. It's like, wow, you fucked up and I had to pay $18. Yeah, I love this. Just.
Well, I still have my beard because the Stars clinched a playoff spot.
There you go. There you go.
I stopped shaving at the start of the hockey season and let it grow until we're knocked out of the playoffs.
Yeah, it's still the only hockey game I've ever been to. I love sporting events. I like eating food at sporting events. Just there's something about concession food while watching sports occur that's just fantastic.
You remember what you had at the hockey game?
In my head, I remember nachos specifically. That's like ingrained.
The barbecue nachos.
Yeah, that is in my brain.
And yeah.
I also remember you specifically told me, oh yeah, while they're playing hockey, like they won't let you walk back in from the concessions. And I thought you were kidding. I don't know why. You said it very straight-faced with zero sarcasm, and I was like, yeah, that's not true. And I'm like trying to walk up my nachos, and like there's the little old man valet with like a little hockey puck that's like, don't go in, you dumb motherfucker. I tried to walk past him, and he got very handsy. He was very mad that I tried to go in there.
No, they hold a little stop sign like a crossing guard at the top of the steps. Yeah, because they don't want you to get hit by a puck while you have your back turned walking up to your
it makes sense. I was too young to like realize that like, oh yeah, people can die, you know.
So yeah, let's make you wait till there's a stop in play.
Absolute cowards.
Yeah, listen. Are things different in Canada? Are you just getting fucking hit in the head by
I've never heard of these hockey pucks flying out and just pelting people in the stands.
I watched enough hockey to know if that's true or not.
It happens. Not like every game, but it does happen.
I don't think I've ever seen it in like a game I've watched.
I was about to ask, have you been to a hockey game yet?
Yeah.
In person?
Growing up, like used to go to the college games like every single week.
I guess that makes sense. You are Canadian. I don't know why the fuck I even asked that.
My hometown has a hockey team. The city has a college team. I actually recently found out when we moved to London, I wanted to get back into watching, like going to games. London takes their hockey team so much more seriously than anywhere else I've ever been. It's like $150 a game.
Is it the Rain? Isn't London Ontario?
Yeah.
I know there's an Ontario Rain in the AHL. That's the league that our
The London Knights.
Yeah.
Interesting. I wonder what league that is.
Their hockey tickets are ungodly expensive, at least when I last checked them.
Wow.
And apparently it's just because a lot of their players ended up making it big into the NHL. So, like, they're like, yeah, we can charge this, and people will come watch.
I wonder if that's the OHL.
It might be OHL.
No fucking into these. The HL part I know. That's Hockey League. That's the easy part.
AHL is one tier below the NHL. So I live in just north of Austin, and we've got the Dallas Stars in the NHL. Yeah. And then our team down here, just like 10 minutes from my house, is the Texas Stars, and they're the AHL affiliate of the Dallas Stars.
I remember this.
Yeah, these are playing the Ontario Hockey League, one of the leagues in Canadian Hockey League.
Yeah, OHL. That's supposed to be a really good league.
Yeah. But yeah, this is an expensive league, and so I can't afford to go watch hockey games there.
Interesting.
Shit. Speaking of living in Ontario, Canada, in old London, I feel like everything that I see out of London, Canada, is always like local crackhead has smoked new record of rocks in one day.
Yep. What? It's like, I remember, so when we first moved in, we were like sitting out on our porch or our balcony, you know, enjoying the night. And then we heard a couple pops sound off. And this is Canada, not the US. So we think, there are fireworks somewhere in the distance. I wonder what happened. Moments later, 17 sirens come blaring down the street. And the guy was shot like right outside of my balcony and ran and fled in the building. I think I sent you a picture when that happened. Of me that pan next to the door.
Oh, that I see. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, because there was an active shooter in my building.
Yeah,
the
whole building was on lockdown.
Okay, no, the fucking. I don't know if anything you said was real in terms of how your building was set up because it was so absurd.
No, it was all true. All of it was real.
Shit lives in like a fucking cartoon building. Like,
it's like a vault.
Like. So he has an intercom in his room, and every morning there's like a little chime, and then the fucking overseer is like, "Good morning, residents. You know, it's 9:02 a.m."
Yeah.
Just
and be like, "Oh, please ignore this fire alarm. It's a mistake."
Yeah.
So like what we would call the landlord has like morning announcements, like at school.
They had like very regular announcements, yeah.
Like,
and it was like building wide, you couldn't escape them.
Oh, how weird.
Also,
is that
like
common around?
No, not at all. I've never seen it before in any other building I've lived in.
I've never heard of that.
Like, this is great. Like, this is a cheap rent, brand new building. I can't wait to live there. And it was just absolutely horrible.
Yeah, I remember you telling us this, maybe like, that's a funny joke. And then you posted a picture of the intercom speaker in your room, and I was like, well, I mean, that could be in anyone's room. And then you uploaded a video one day where it was like they were talking, and I was just like, what the fuck? Like,
I think a few times during a raid, like I have to mute my mic because it's like, oh, announcement time.
I'm picturing like houses in America, like in the early mid 80s, would have intercom systems.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Where there'd be like a main one in the kitchen, but then every bedroom would have one too, so you could all talk to each other.
All in the ceiling of like 3
in the ceiling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like we weren't talking to them. It was a one-way street.
Yeah, no.
Right.
It's like literally imagine like Half-Life 2, just dystopian buildings, and like the overseer is talking to you. Like,
I wonder if the building was an old school.
That would be
No, it was like a brand new build. Like, it was constructed.
I just don't get it.
Yeah, it was amazing.
I don't get it.
I'm very glad not to. And then we'd have the weekly drop off of goods outside of my door.
I was about to say, yeah.
We thought it was like a one-off event when we first moved in because like we were moving in, we were like, oh, someone left a bottle of lotion outside the door. Must have been the people who moved out before us, set it down, forgot about it. And then like 2 weeks later, it's like, there's some clothes outside my door. That's weird. And then, there's a dishwashing rack outside my door. And it was just progress to weirder and weirder items. I had a monitor, and it wasn't like placed around my door. It was like leaning on my door. Like, this is for you. This is a gift.
Yeah, so she would get offerings from the fucking I just imagine the overseer as like some shadow figure, and like he just chose you. He was like, "This one's my favorite."
Yeah.
You never caught someone putting something there? They just always magically appeared.
I thought I caught someone once, and it was like the cleaning lady. Because like I heard something against my door, and I went to open. I'm like, "Oh, you motherfucker! I caught you!" And she was just like picking up this used pair of like pajama pants, and she's like, "Are these yours?" And I'm like, "No." She's like, "Do you want them?" And no. Like, oh, I don't know what to do with these now. They're just sitting in the hallway. I'm like, not my problem. Goodbye.
Based. Yeah, I think fondly.
Everything about that apartment.
Yeah, it was insane. Yeah. It was absolutely insane. I remember the day that you messaged me and you were like, "Yeah, there's an active shooter in my building, but don't worry." And you sent me a picture of you holding a pan, and I was like, "He's so dead." And then you survived. That was pretty good.
We could see.
That was your PUBG armor.
Yeah, literally.
I could see out on the balcony too, like the SWAT team clearing room by room. Like all the lights would go out, and then you just see flashlights clearing the rooms, and then like the lights would turn back on. The next apartment all the lights would go out, and they'd clear it.
Wow.
Yeah.
And this is in London.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's like
that
same week, like 500,000 people.
It's a decent size.
Just unbelievably small.
Yeah. It's for Canada. It's like top 10 biggest cities.
It's bigger than Letterkenny.
Oh God, yeah. Population 7.
Is Letterkenny a real thing? Like, do those people exist? Okay, not is it a real place, but like, do those types of Canadians exist, or they're just like?
Unbelievably, yes.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, I've seen interviews with that guy Jared Kiso, and he says they're based on real people that he knew.
If you were to come to my hometown in Leamington and like just go for a drive around with me, you'd be in Letterkenny.
Okay.
Like that's what it's like.
Yeah, I gotta like map out the cost of everything and figure out when I can start affording to travel. Because I gotta pay off my birthday because it turns out renting Airbnbs that are that big for extended periods of time very expensive. So we're still working on the logistics of that for this year because we decided to make it slightly bigger. But
you decided to extend it an extra day, and
it turns out extending it by a day made it cost a lot more. Yes. Well, we also didn't commit a crime this time because the way the place worked is you rent it and you have to pay for the bunkhouses, which we did not do last year. And instead, I used the power of being a carpenter for 7 years to just open the doors. And I was like, well, if this is going to be a long-term thing we do every year, I probably shouldn't do something that risks us getting like excommunicated, because it turns out it is fucking impossible to find a goddamn Airbnb of any price that can house the amount of people that I want to bring down for my birthday. It's
essentially renting an entire floor of a hotel.
Yes. Well,
is the equivalent.
Yes, but here's the like obviously a hotel would work very easily, and you get like there's conference rooms around all this shit. However, I fucking hate the hotels for a very specific reason. They're just segmented rooms. And even if we're all in the same hallway, like people are antisocial, and they're gonna hide in their room and have a bad experience. So it's like I want it to be in a very open floor plan area where it's like, sure, people are segmenting off in smaller groups, but like it's a super open floor plan and people are rotating constantly. You know, everyone's interacting with everyone. We're building camaraderie. Like, my birthday is a very fun event, and I'm very close to being done planning it out for this year. And you know,
does it have to be a place with beds?
Yes.
Bedrooms, like it's an overnight deal.
Oh, it's
like it's a 4-day this year.
Yeah, it's 4-day this year. And if people like the 4-day, we'll extend it even longer.
Wow.
Yeah, beds are.
This is for your birthday, right?
Yes.
You child.
I know.
Make it like 4 days earlier, and it's for my birthday instead. Yeah. It's great.
Well, yeah. So like, it just had.
That would be better, because people that plan their own birthdays after like 21.
Yeah.
Hear me out. I've never celebrated my birthday ever in my entire life, okay? Until fucking last year. I was like, you know what? what's a good excuse that I can get as many people together that I enjoy in one place for an extended period of time? It's like, oh, we'll just make an event out of my birthday. My birthday isn't actually important at all. It's just a convenient excuse to get everyone together to hang out and, like, you know, touch faces.
I can't wait till we all bring you gifts this year.
Yeah, so that's one thing.
That was my next question. Are these people feeling obligated to
No.
bring
We are.
No, so I very specifically tell every single person, you are not to bring me a gift. You coming is the gift.
So just throw a party. It doesn't have to be a birthday party.
Well, no, then it takes his birthday out of the equation.
Well, no, so
he won't admit it, but he will.
no, so if it's for my birthday, suddenly my parents are a lot more willing to pay for a large amount of the expenses.
Oh.
So like last year, they put $8,000 into it, which made it very cheap. So,
my gosh,
yeah,
but you just need a big enough place,
yep.
though, like
and I do think
Airbnb that's like a mansion.
Yeah.
The mansion we got was like
perfect,
ideal in every way, shape, and form.
Well, so there are a lot of challenges to this, right? Because I get so fucking mad because people all the time are like, "Why are we going here? Why can't we go to this random state instead?" It's like, hey, motherfucker. Like, you want, so the way that I have it set up is I don't want everyone else to spend an absorbent amount of money, and obviously traveling is already expensive, so it's like I cap the price at like everyone's share is $340, okay, and then that's as high as I'll ever go, and if we get enough people that like it goes lower, your share is lower. Otherwise, I'll just eat the cost. So like right now, I'm like paying like $7,000 out of pocket for like, you know, the offset. Obviously, if more people come, it gets cheaper. I got to figure out all the math on this, but like. Cars. It's fucking expensive to rent cars. So if we do it in California, where tons of people are local, my parents are local, we can use their vehicles. Suddenly we're saving thousands of dollars again because like we just don't have to pay for cars. It's like, oh, I found this really cool place in fucking rural Kentucky that would fit everyone. It's like, awesome. It's twice the price of the California place, and we don't have anyone who lives local there, so we all have to rent cars. Congratulations. You've now made the trip cost $20,000 more. You're dumb as fuck. You shouldn't plan anything. I hate you. And then, yeah, so California is like super pivotal because we have so many people native to California that I know that have vehicles. And, you know, if I found a bunch of people in Tennessee with cars, you know, maybe we can move it to Tennessee, but...
California. You got 2 cars if you host it in Ontario.
Exactly. And whereas if we host it in Southern California, I have like 10 cars. So
I'll start working on collecting more cars.
Yeah.
Rent a Sprinter van and just be constantly shuttling people from the airport.
Yeah. Someone did RV was suggested. We do have 2 RVs available to us we could use, but it's also like, why? We just use cars. Another problem with cars is that they're like renting a large like shuttle van is one, whoever rents the car, like we have too many people with too much to lose in my friend group now. There aren't as many young idiots. Now it's all like very responsible 35-year-olds who are like, well, I mean, it's my name on the insurance. I don't think I'll be allowing you to operate the motor vehicle, sir.
Right.
It's like, yeah, that's fair. You know, 20-year-old me would have been like, sure, fuck it, I don't care.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like it's a super fun time, and if this year goes well, I'll probably like expand it even more because I'll have like significantly more time to plan it. Because last year it started out like completely out of the blue, where it was like I was literally talking to Jit, and I was like, "Hey man, you should come over to my house for my birthday. That'd be like fun, you know, just wanted like an excuse to come to my house." He's like, "Sure." Someone else heard, is like, "Well, I want to go to your house." I'm like, "Okay, it's fine." Like 3 other people heard, like, "Well, I want to go to your house." It's like, okay, well, my house doesn't really fit, you know, 6 people coming over. Okay, we can rent like a lake house nearby. So we're like looking at lake houses. A couple more friends show up. They're like, "Dude, fuck yes, lake house. I'm down." Suddenly it's like, well, the lake house doesn't fit 15 people, so that's not gonna work. Well, I guess we go to California because like, I'm at my parents' house, and like we could find something nearby. This will work. And then just word kept spreading, and suddenly it's like there are 29 people that are coming down to California for my birthday. And it's like, fuck, I guess we got to find something bigger. And then
We found the bunkhouse.
Yeah, we found the bunkhouse. At first it seemed like a joke because it looks like a military barracks the way the bunkhouse is set up, where there's like a fucking inch between each bed. Turns out, Airbnb like compresses the shit of the photos, and the perspectives get so fucked. There was like an unbelievable amount of room. These rooms are massive. It was so perfect.
It was a former cult house.
Yeah, dude, that's what it feels
Pretty
like.
much.
Yeah. And we're making it an active cult house. The cult of fucking AnySPIDERPig. But yeah, fucking phenomenal.
So yeah, if this becomes annual, it'll be like Pig Fest.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. That's a good idea. Pig Fest.
We're gonna copyright that after.
Yeah, that's a fucking good name. I like that. I might steal that.
Everyone heard me say it first, so I'll take my royalties. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, this episode's never gonna air.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. Oh man.
So you are more than welcome to use that.
Yeah, because I don't know. Like this year, we had a lot more time to plan, obviously, because we knew we wanted to do it. But it was like the previous year was paid for by the fact that I had a job for 5 years prior, and then I moved to Minnesota and was like, no, having a job is cringe. And then I was like, well, fuck, if I want to like have very elaborate birthday plans that cost like currency, I should probably have a job and not just live off of like investments I made when I was young. That's probably a terrible idea. So I went out and I found a job, and now I will be doing that to farm money to have a birthday every year.
Do your dailies.
Yeah.
Thinking Pigchella?
Pigchella?
No,
Pigchella is good too. We like Pigchella, Pigfest, Pigchella. These are all good.
Some bangers out here.
Yeah. These are actually genuinely fantastic names that I will be using to refer to my birthday. Pigchella or Pigfest. But yeah. I don't know, like it all sort of does stem actually from going to your house too, because I remember having so much fun in Texas with everybody and being like, man, why don't I do that more? And then I decided that we're gonna do that. But
it sounded like at the time that you were doing a lot of traveling, but it sounds now like you don't as much anymore.
Yeah, so once I started dating Jocelyn, I just stopped traveling entirely because we could never decide on where we wanted to go.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh, I don't like this place. Well, fuck it, then I guess we won't go there. Okay, where the fuck do you want to go? And the only place she ever wanted to go was back home to Chicago, and I was very afraid of meeting her family because every time I'd heard about them, they were all extremely violent and like angry, and it's like I don't want to get beaten up. I don't like this at all.
They sound and she sounds very like stereotypical, like hot-headed Latin.
Yes.
Latina.
Yes.
Type. Yeah.
Very angry Puerto Ricans is what you would describe as that atmosphere. And yeah, it freaked me the fuck out, so I never went, and I always got in trouble for it. But you can't win them all. But yeah, I don't know. I just like very distinctly the memory is like your house in particular was so fun, and I always think back of like, man, hanging out with people in real life is so much more fun and rewarding, like emotionally, than any amount of like online hanging out.
Yeah, I felt like we knew each other pretty well before you came down, but then there is a profound difference being in the same room with someone.
Yeah. Well, it's like remember the end of my birthday, everyone else, it was like you, me, Kramer, and we were just fucking around at Jake's house at the pool.
Yeah.
It was just so much fun.
Like, it's just a good time.
Yeah. Like,
honestly, my favorite part of that entire weekend has got to be just cooking with Matt in the kitchen.
Yes.
Oh, that was, if I could just pluck that bit out.
Yeah.
And just go through it whenever I want. Oh, such a good time.
Yeah, so we had Jit here and our friend Matt cooking like food for like 30 fucking people, and it was just giant kitchen setup, and they both like worked in like the culinary industry, so like they just were having the time of their lives, just cooking away. And I wanted to help cook and stuff, but everyone like, so I'm sort of like the like main web that attaches everyone at this like at the birthday initially. So like no one really interact with each other super like a lot. So there was a lot of like me bouncing around like sort of like playing matchmaker with personalities, be like, oh, like, hey, like Brant, this is, you know, this person, and like keeping everyone entertained, because like nothing feels worse than like everyone having fun. You look over and one of your friends is like, you know, timid in the corner. It's like, no, come on, little Timmy, you know, we're not gonna bite you.
They're like 9 clicks, but there were still some people who like didn't perfectly fit in. With any like one group.
Yeah, and it's like it's very hard to have 30 people that all like each other in the same area. And we've increased it this year to even more people, so it's even harder, but I'm hoping that like we never run into a scenario where anyone gets like beaten up for being annoying. But we'll see. Cuz like I'm Mormon, so I don't drink at all, but some people get fucking hammered, and you know, they might
party would be a pretty good excuse to indulge excessively.
So some people might find other people slightly annoying when they're sober, but they don't say anything. And then when they're drunk, if you piss them off enough, they will punch you. And that's like a thing that I'll like. There's a lot of personality management that goes into the planning of my birthday and who's gonna be near who, because some people are like completely oblivious to like how annoying they can be to other people, and it's like, yeah, you're the one that's gonna get punched in the face, so I have to like always be near you to make sure that like you don't antagonize the very drunk man who is going to punch you in the face. And they're just so oblivious to this kind of stuff. But I've talked to most people, been like, hey man, keep in mind, you know, so-and-so might not like when you do this to him. And on the computer, he can mute you. In real life, he can strike you. So just keep this in your mind and sort of keep everyone's, you know, fun and enjoyment in mind when you're making your decisions, because I don't need to have there be drama at my birthday. We should all be having fun.
Yeah, that's something I wouldn't have thought of, but when you have that many people, you know, it's not just a little birthday get together with a small group of friends. It's a lot of people that don't know each other. So they may not get along.
But and then you start adding alcohol to the mix, and people are getting real rowdy sometimes. Like nothing crazy happened last year. Like everyone was super. I don't think anyone had a bad time. Like everyone, because as far as I know, every single person except for one person is coming back, and the only person that isn't coming back is because he's like becoming a pilot, so he has flight school. But he's like, I'm gonna not go to flight school and go to your birthday instead. I'm like, do not derail your life to go to my fucking birthday party.
See, and I was talking to him saying the exact opposite thing.
Oh my god,
you could probably pull it off.
Oh yeah, he really wants to go as for Nobe, but I'm just like, look man, I'm gonna feel fucking terrible if you like fuck up your flight school because you want to go to my birthday. Oh, he's
take flight school and fly the plane down for a day or two.
There you go.
Fly back to flight school. You should be bonus credit.
Yeah, and that's, speaking of flying down for a day, that's another like big thing you got to think about when you're planning these events. Is like, okay, I love like 3 days was not enough for me. Too much, like too few time. Like I need more time with the fellas. Like adding that extra day, just having one more day adds so much like energy and stuff you can actually accomplish. But for other people, like they're like, no, my social batteries are gone day 2, and that 3rd day was a stretch. So like, then you got to plan out, okay, well, who's only coming down for 2 or 3 days? Okay, like, well, let's adjust the price accordingly, because like, it feels bad to fucking charge someone, you know, extra, and they're like leaving early. But then there are other people that are like financially well off in life who are like, I love this party, it's great, I am more than happy putting in extra. And obviously those people are like the heroes of my birthday. Like Quotes last year put in like 2 or 3 grand extra. May 8th will put in another like 500 extra each. Or like this year's like Spiv and Jackus aren't paying because they paid but didn't go last year because they got COVID, and I felt bad. I was like, you know, I'll pay for your stay this time because you got kind of cucked last year. But Or it's like even like simple stuff like where do the girls sleep? Like there aren't enough like couples bedrooms, so all the girls have to get shoved into like a room together because fucking they'll have a miserable time being in the snoratorium with the boys screaming like fucking monkeys at 2 a.m.
They'll sleep nice and peacefully in the igloo. I'll make sure.
That's another big thing. Women do not like cold temperatures. If you subject them to the fucking 60-degree room that we were sleeping in, the perfect temperature for sleep, they'll die. They'll actually die. We'll wake up with a frozen to death spiv. All the blood in her body will turn to fucking ice.
Yeah, you just take the wheelchair away and she can't even roll over to the chin.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh, wow.
She's not in a wheelchair.
You know of the college kids pushing the wheelchair down the stairs?
Yes, I did see that. Yeah, at the bar.
Yeah, I thought it was like a house party or something.
It may have been. Well, there were security cameras, so I think it was a bar.
Oh, good point. Yeah, it probably was.
Because
upstairs, like a second floor bar.
Yeah, because the way that it was set up looked exactly like this place I went to in Canada. But yeah, very. Do you know what happened, shit?
No.
Well, you see these college students. These 2 dudes just decide to do the funniest prank of all time, which is
I love good pranks.
Throwing a girl's wheelchair down the stairs and breaking it.
Was she attached to the wheelchair?
No, fortunately, she wasn't at the time.
Well, no harm, no foul then.
Exactly, you're right. But yeah, they're like, my brain can't even comprehend, like, what's the joke there? Like, haha, I broke her wheelchair. Anyways. I think
it was, she can't, I felt terrible because part of me thought at that age, I probably would have thought that was funny at first until it actually broke. Because the joke was she can't go get it. Like they pushed it down there, so she can't
displace it and she can't get it.
Yeah.
It breaks.
She's stuck in the bar.
Yeah.
Basically. But yeah, the fact that it broke and it was not good.
Once you get older and realize, like, wow, wheelchairs are expensive.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Well, now I will say, if Spiv was actually in a wheelchair, I would fucking throw Spiv's wheelchair off of a balcony every chance I got. Only because I'm mean to Spiv and I love her greatly. But
it's really no different than like if a friend has a broken leg and you like steal their crutches and hide them somewhere.
Yeah.
They have to hobble around.
This is fair. Yeah. Oh, that's actually a good one. Pranks. Some people do not understand that some people do not like getting pranked in any way whatsoever. And when you add that real life element to it, it's like, sometimes you got to sit down with the little pranksters and you're like, listen, buddy, you can fuck with my stuff and I'm never going to hit you. However, if you fuck with other people's stuff, sometimes they might fucking hit you because they do not find it funny and they're like embarrassed and angry. So maybe don't do a little bit of trolling, you know?
Didn't a YouTuber just get shot?
Yeah, in the mall, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember that fucking YouTuber who his girlfriend shot him in the chest like through a book?
Oh, I think I heard about that.
I fucking finally saw the fucking footage of that. Not the actual shooting. It wasn't included, but like I saw the intro he does to the video. It's a fucking desert eagle, by the way, that he's like reviewing.
Oh my god.
And he's like he's like, don't worry, like God will protect me, like don't worry, she's gonna hit the a fucking encyclopedia is what he chose as his body armor. A fucking book like this big, like a fucking desert eagle. One, it's a fucking miracle the goddamn gun fired in the first place. Those things are complete pieces of shit. But second of all,
aren't they 45s?
I think they're like probably somewhere in that caliber, but they're like a ridiculously large round.
And with a ton of powder.
Yeah, and they don't cycle very well. They're real pieces of shit. But they're cool in video games. So,
Krista shot one once. We were at an outdoor range, and there were some military guys there, and one of them had one, and asked her if she wanted to shoot it.
Yeah,
that was funny.
But yeah. So like they had a picture of like the encyclopedia. She hit the book, by the way. Turns out book had no impact on stopping and it's like a little target drawn and it's like, please hit here so I don't die. And it's like, how are you a real person? Like, obviously like gene pool corrected itself there, but like, in what?
And like in front of his chest?
Yes! He was literally like this.
Like, you can set up a book on a target and test it out.
Yeah, you won't get the views though.
Yeah, like
think if he pulled it off and didn't die.
So hear me out. Obviously, yes, he would get views. But my immediate thought, Holden's 100% right. If I'm dumb enough to be like, yeah, let's shoot me, right? The first thing I'm doing is we're practicing shooting the fucking thing to make sure it stops a fucking bullet before we.
To know you practiced it how many times?
Yeah,
they see the video of you actually doing it, not the test.
But this is we're also thinking from the mindset of the person who's like, well, I would let you shoot a book in front of my chest without any sort of precaution. Yeah. The person whose mindset is like, yes, let's shoot me in the chest with a fucking high-powered handgun. It's probably not the kind of person who's thinking very many steps. He might be thinking 2 steps behind, honestly, at that point.
It might have been like, just shoot me in the chest with it. Wait a minute, let's get some protection.
Yeah.
I've got an encyclopedia.
Yeah, last minute. Yeah, I don't it shocks me how few people have had not only an introduction to firearms, but an introduction to firearms that involves more than yeah, you pull the trigger and a bullet comes out sometimes. The amount of videos I see on Reddit of people accidentally discharging their guns and shit. I'm just
yeah.
How?
No trigger control whatsoever. They don't know that you don't touch the trigger.
Yeah. My favorite one was this dude is he's got his gun and he's like, don't worry guys, this is it. Look how clean this slide is, and he pulls it back, and I see the round getting chambered, and his finger is actively holding the trigger, and I'm like, this isn't going to end well for him. And he lets the slide go, bang, 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 and it's what the hell, how? It's because you fucking fed around in the chamber and you were holding the trigger, you dumb motherfucker.
So he didn't understand what that action did. He didn't realize that
no clue.
Found in the chamber.
Yeah.
And like I said, he didn't know trigger control. Trigger safety. Wow.
Yeah, it's like when I took a few of my friends out shooting once, and I gave one of them a Glock, and I fucking turned around for 2 seconds, and he fucking had a negligent discharge, and I was like, you're banned from shooting for the day. You just have to watch us now. And he's like, come on, man. I'm like, no, you're literally too much of a liability. You have to watch. You're banned. Yeah. Glocks have those triggers where the safety's on the trigger. Yeah. And so he took the magazine out, and in his head, he's like, it is now a safe firearm. He didn't clear the fucking slide. And he's just fucking with it. And I remember hearing the gunshot. I turn around, and my other friend is holding his stomach, and I'm like, oh my God, you fucking murdered Braden. Turns out the guy was just doing did I get shot? Am I okay? Yeah. And I'm just being oh my fucking God, you killed him. Oh, we have to bury him. Oh, Jesus Christ. What the fuck, man?
Oh my God.
And yeah, he was just I remember him being so mad when I was you are banned from guns for the day. You don't get to touch them anymore. You've proven that you are a fucking moron. I said, do not touch these while I help the other person. Then I explain how the gun works to him. It's well, I'm gonna fuck around with it.
I have to go to a gun range with you guys.
No.
I have a 3rd gen G19.
There you go.
And I love it.
Yeah. The Glocks are they're very aesthetically pleasing handgun.
I just find it really reliable and fun to shoot. You can put a lot of rounds through it and still be your hand still feels comfortable. And
yeah. But also, Jit, to answer your question, for the 80th time, there's no fucking universe for my birthday we're going to a range. I just don't trust you guys enough.
Oh, no. I would never make it a party scenario.
Range party.
Suddenly there's fucking 30 of you, and even if there were 30 range masters to each watch, they're only assigned to each of you. That's still too many, too few eyes guiding some of you guys, because holy shit.
Wait till the last day again when it's just the 4 of us.
To clarify, Jit, if you wanted to stay an extra day and we went back to my parents' house and we go open the fucking vaults and you pick any gun you want, we can go fuck around with it, absolutely.
I want to change my ticket right now.
Not in a group, not party scenario going on. It's just too serious.
Yeah.
Spirit Airlines.
I'm trying to think of the biggest group possible.
It's fun. It's enjoyable to do, but it's not a party thing.
Yeah, because like the only people that I like trust with firearms that like I would be comfortable like just completely leaving them alone are Athel, because he was in the military and he's proven to me that he's not a retard, and like maybe Quotes. It's 2 fucking people, and that's only because I know Quotes like goes shooting like regularly as well. But there's also a chance like, you know, they show up, I hand them a gun, and within 5 seconds I'm like, you are not allowed to hold this anymore. Yeah, nothing is funnier than giving someone a gun and then being like, yeah, isn't this cool? And they're just like waving it around. It's like, please don't do this. Like, I haven't given you bullets yet, but also just for the sake of practice, let's not wave the fucking barrel around. It's just
part of the basics. Like, you always treat it like it's loaded. You don't point it anywhere you don't expect it to shoot.
Yeah, there's just too much liability with firearms that like I can't allow it. No matter how many times you guys ask me, we're not going to a fucking range because
one day we'll break you.
That's my fear, is that one day you will break me. And then you guys are all gonna fucking shoot each other. Because like I've seen so many range videos of like dumb motherfuckers like taking the guns and like taking a picture like, oh, and you guys are gonna fucking collateral each other. There's just no way that you guys don't mass grave yourselves on my fucking birthday. Then I get in trouble. I killed half the fucking raid team by leaving you guys unsupervised, you fucking monkeys. Just no. Just no. And every time I think about it, I get more upset that you guys are so insistent on doing this. Just don't trust any of you.
So just the day from the 29th to the 30th.
Oh, did you?
I'm looking at it right now to see how I can change it.
Yeah, if you do, I'll fuck with my flights. Cause I have my whiteboard. I've got a. You can't see it, but I have sandwich cam right on the top because we got to bring back the sandwich cam. It was such good content.
It was good content for like the 4 times you did it.
Yeah.
And then you just never did it again.
Well, the crazy part too is I actually have a setup for it now. I have like the perfect setup. I can mount like a vertical camera facing down and actually have like a perfect work surface. You can watch me cut my fingers off.
See, this is something I can't wait until I own my own house for. Because I will drive Bay like absolutely fucking up the wall with just putting little cameras everywhere.
Yeah.
Being like, no, like,
yeah,
I'm going to talk to Dylan on Discord and I'm going to stream me cooking whatever I'm going to cook today.
Yeah, no, my house has so many holes in it from like, I'll just install things in the wall. It's like, no, like, yeah, it's my fucking house. I'll do whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm going to put a shelf here. Like, I have a shelf here now. Doesn't match anything, but I have a fucking shelf here now. And, you know, I can put shit on it. So take that. I do need to make shelves though. I've been looking up videos and like what kind of shelf I want to make for my room, because I want to eventually get a standing desk that can go up like high as fuck. Because
yeah.
Oh yeah, Holden is also like 80 feet tall. He's like one of the few people in my life that's like just an imposing figure to me, where I'm like, God damn, motherfucker, you are tall. So he understands my pain of like, if I wanted a standing desk, like most of them do not go to the height that I'm comfortable at.
The world's just not built for us.
Dude, it really fucking my lower back is so fucked from just like, oh, I want to do the dishes. Well, the fucking sink is down here, and I'm like always been. It's just so fucking bad.
Yep. Sucks. That's why I hate doing dishes. I like to cook, but I hate doing prep, like chopping and cutting and prep, because the counter's too low. And I've had a fusion at L3-4 and laminectomy at L4, and I have a spinal cord stimulator implanted in my spinal cord.
No idea what that does.
It just sends out electrical impulses up the spine to block the pain signals.
Okay. Yeah, actually, speaking of your spine, you messaged me about you had an infection of some kind. What happened there?
We don't. It was some sort of virus, but it was towards the beginning of COVID. But It wasn't COVID. I've been tested over 15 times now, even for the antibodies, and apparently I've never had it.
Nice.
But I got really sick. It started as like a stomach bug, and then my kidneys started hurting, and I thought maybe I had like kidney stones or something. It turns out they were shutting down.
That's not good.
I ended up in multi-organ failure, and I was in a coma for a while.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And eventually all my organs started recovering, and
this is good.
Everything except the left side of my heart.
Okay.
Fully. So I have an implant in the left side of my heart called an LVAD.
Mm-hmm.
It's a left ventricular assist device. It's a pump. It just pumps continuously 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
So I either have to carry this like big bag of batteries to power it.
I see.
Cord runs into my stomach and up to the pump.
Interesting.
In my chest. Yeah, it's crazy. But I had to, I was in a hospital bed for so long, I had to go to inpatient rehab and learn how to walk again. And
Jesus.
Doing all that. Yeah.
All that stuff. It was crazy.
Well, I'm glad you're walking again. Now you've got an Iron Man battery. That's good.
Yeah.
I was going to say, have you ever thought about like integrating it into your chest?
Yeah. Iron Man did that.
That supposedly is the next
in a cave.
Version of the LVAD will be all completely internal. But right now there's like temperature issues, like the batteries get too hot sometimes.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. But supposedly that's going to be the next version that they come out with.
Get wireless charging. My phone's got it.
That's true. Yeah, wireless charging. Yeah, you can make your bed a giant charger.
That's how I charge the spinal stimulator, is wireless. I just hold it in my back and it charges. What was I going to say? The pump,
pumps.
LVAD.
Iron Man
was not functioning properly for a while. I had some period of time with low oxygen to my brain.
Yeah.
So you guys were talking about this on the last episode too. I have like cognitive issues sometimes. I can't think of a word I'm trying to say, or my memory is still really spotty.
Yeah.
Still a bunch of what happened that I don't remember. Krista has to tell me like what happened.
Yeah, just a little bit of not remembering.
Oh, that's what it was. The ending to the story is I'm on the heart transplant list.
Nice.
So I'm going to get a heart transplant.
Well, kill Tay.
You don't like to keep your robo heart?
What?
You don't want to keep your robo heart? You'd rather...
Absolutely not. It's a pain in the ass.
I see.
This bag of batteries is like 10 pounds. So you're constantly carrying a bag of 10 pounds of
car battery on you at all times?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Otherwise, when I'm at home, I can connect to wall power. But then I'm connected to the wall.
Yeah.
So
it's a big ass extension cord.
It's just a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, we'll kill Tay and you can have, his heart.
I don't think his heart's strong enough.
Yeah, Tay's
heart.
Is
it like 4'2"?
Yeah, Tay is like 4'2", and he probably needs more.
No. I have typo negative blood, so it has to be somebody that also has typo negative. I can't have any other type of blood.
Oh shit! Yeah, we gotta find out what kind of blood Tay has.
And antibodies have to match, and it needs to be somebody around my size, like 6'5".
Yeah, Tay is.
Find an elephant.
Yeah, Tay is a little too tiny for that. That is crazy to think that Tay. Like, I didn't think about you probably have to be the same size. Who can Tay even give organs to? If we killed him to harvest him.
Children.
Yeah, children. Maybe a large dog.
Kidneys and the liver and
Yeah, interesting. I need to figure out.
Harvest quite a bit off him.
Yeah.
As long as he stops with the McNuggies and
well, no, all the stuff that gets corroded by that is just shot. Like that's gone. But his bones are probably fine. They talk about like how much your kidney's worth X amount of money. It's like, who the fuck are you selling it to? Like, I can't just go sell a kidney, can I? That's not a thing.
Not in the US.
Not
bullshit.
Here.
Cause like I don't
land of the free, I guess.
Yeah, land of the free. Like, I don't drink or do any drugs, so do I need all of my liver? Like, probably not. Can I just give it away for money?
I don't know how that works.
Because like, if somebody wants to give me like 10 grand for a pristine liver, you know, I'm down. You know, you can have it. Well, for a price, but
isn't it like half of it? I think you only donate half.
Yeah, because your liver can regenerate.
Right, it's one of the organs.
Like an infinite farm.
Yeah, infinite money farm. I'll just keep giving away this juiced fucking liver.
Keep giving away half.
Yeah, double it and give it to the next person.
You just have to find a country where organ.
Well, so here, that's a bit of a double-edged sword because countries where you're allowed to sell your organs, I feel like organs are worth like $1. So
I don't know.
I don't know. Like, I don't know.
I'm trying. It's hard to find information on where I can sell them.
Yeah, I'll have to look into this more.
They're not really transparent.
I feel like I got cash money inside my body right now.
You might not want that in your search history, though.
No, you do, Jed. You definitely want to have as much obscene.
My search history is fucked already, so it's okay. My agent's like, "Oh, it's just Tuesday." Whatever.
Use the VPN and.
What was the one thing we were looking at? It was while I was still playing Wrath.
Oh God, I can't remember.
I remember exactly where I was and what I was doing. It was something about like being able to buy, like, people.
I think so.
There's an article about it. It was like, oh, it costs like $700 to buy this person.
Oh yeah, I think we're talking about buying Indonesians or something.
Yeah. That's what it was.
Yeah, just the idea of like, say you have like some menial task you want to do in your video game. Just be like, you just pay like a fucking Indonesian dude like $5 an hour, and suddenly he's like the happiest guy on earth. Like, holy shit.
Or you just buy, one of his kids, and there you go. They'll farm it for you.
Exactly. Yeah, you wholesale buy the child.
Yeah. So my search history is gone already. It doesn't matter.
Well, I've been talking to Tay too much, so like half of my search history is like age of consent Thailand, as Tay is like just an encyclopedia of knowledge. He'll be like, actually it's 13.5 unless, and I'm like, that can't be true, and I'll look it up, and I'm like, why do you know that, Tay? And he's like, well, it's part of law school, and I'm like, I don't think that was part of law school at all. I think you're lying to me.
They definitely covered that.
Yeah, Tay's a self-proclaimed consent expert, which you never should say out loud to anyone.
That sounds very creepy.
Yeah. and he's still very willing to openly let everyone know that, oh, in law school, I was the expert on consent. One time, this dumb bitch spoke up in class, and I was like, actually, you weren't even raped. And it's like, Tay, this story does not make you seem like the hero in this story at all. You seem like very much like the villain.
It sounds like a very like Dennis Reynolds.
Yes.
Always Sunny.
Yes.
But, because of the implication.
Yes. Oh, Tay's gonna love the end of this podcast when he gets here. But also, it's been about an hour and a half. We'll end it here. I'll see you guys all next week.